If I asked you, how do you learn a song? Do you know? Like, do you have an actual method, or is it just kind of going with the flow and seeing what happens?
No, nothing happens.
Welcome to Crafty Music Tips. My name is Crafty, and as a performer and a music coach for over the past 20 years, I've had to develop an effective way of learning a song so that it can basically just give the audience and my students what they want, which is a song that sounds good.
Sounds good.
Ready to find out what it is? Let's begin. Now, a heads up that the following footage that you're about to see has been taken from a recent exclusive live masterclass from inside the Crafty Guitar Club membership. But the principles apply to any instrument. I'll tell you a little bit about the way that I started to learn songs. In my younger days, it would be either from a guitar book or a guitar magazine, or it would be people showing me. Rarely would I ever be able to figure stuff out for myself. I remember I got real lucky. One time I was just playing something and I kind of figured it out, and I played it and I thought, holy crap, I think I figured it out for myself.
What's the point of this story?
What I needed to do is I needed to learn a bunch of extra knowledge, but also some strategies to make the learning process a more swifter one, and usually a more enjoyable one too. In my earlier days, I needed the information coming towards me. I found it hard to seek out the info. I just didn't have the tools in my arsenal. So that's what I want to throw at you today. I want you to be able to have your eyes and your ears more alert. Okay, so how do I learn a song really well? Well, it's pretty simple. It's just having a clear step-by-step process. I'll say that again. It's having a clear step-by-step process. That means I don't get lost in the process and I don't leave any stone unturned. Sounds pretty good, huh? You want to know what it is. So, all right, I'll tell you what it is. See if you can figure out, well, why would it be so helpful for me and for you? If somebody asked me directly before they're about to start the song, can you quickly jump in and join in? If I don't know the song, I have ways of being able to just get by. Okay, so I'll go through some of those ways later in the video, but first I'm going to talk about what the steps are if you have a good amount of time to spend on learning a song. What's the order? Some people's first port of call is to look up Ultimate Guitar or a YouTube video tutorial. In my opinion, that shouldn't be the first step. Here is my order. The first is you listen. Listen to the song. That's hands down the first thing that you got to do. You got to listen to it. So many people, like, they've got their instruments and they're just like, quick, I want to start. Which is kind of like, your enthusiasm is great. And I'm very guilty of this at times as well. And I have to remember, wait, put the item down, breathe, and then just take in the information. You might be too busy making the sounds, like just trying to find it, and then you're missing the opportunity to really take in all the information. So I just like to listen first.
Listen.
Listen hard!
And my partner, she tells me when it's my turn to cook, I'll be like, wait, what? You're supposed to put the olive oil on first? She's like, yeah, didn't you read the recipe? I'm like, well, no, I just sort of like got into it. It's like, you know, you get any sort of gadget, right? And like my grandpa, he'd say something like, you'd have to arrest me and put me in the chair like in the movie Clockwork Orange with the eyes open and the drops to actually read the manual. You know, like never would he ever read the manual. I'm talking so much about something so simple because it works. Just listening to the song, it gives you all of the information away from the guitar. Then maybe you could listen to it again with the guitar. Now, so once I've listened, what am I listening out for? It's the song structure. So it's knowing, is there a verse after the intro? Or is the intro the chorus, which happens sometimes? Maybe there's no intro. You know, like just being really clear of what the song structure is. So that then you've got the ingredients, but then you know when to use them. But the next thing that I want is, I want to figure out what the key is. Being really clear on what the key is tells me so much, and it makes a lot of my searching for what chords and what notes are so much easier because I've really got the right direction in which to go in. And then so with that, filling in the gaps becomes so much easier. By looking at ultimate guitar first, basically you're just skipping these. But by not skipping these first 3 steps and not relying on obtaining your info elsewhere, you're allowing yourself to develop your ear, and as a result, you'll have a stronger grasp of all of the song components. My 5th point is just the extras, really. It's the tone. Is it acoustic? Is it finger-picked or is it with a pick? Or is it electric? What type of pickup is it on? What sort of sound am I getting out of the amp? Are there any effects? Things like that. You kind of worry about that stuff later. That's kind of like the icing. You really want all the cake done first. And other extras, I don't know if you would have ever thought of this, but for me, I like learning, like if there's a bass line, as a guitarist, how is that going to benefit me? Knowing how to play a bass line, if it's different from the guitar part, it's really good information to have at your fingertips, even if you're not playing it. For instance, if the keyboard is doing something pretty cool, it's just good to know that stuff. All right, so this live masterclass went on for an hour or so, and what I proceeded to do is demonstrate how I learn a song. Someone suggested a song, and then I figured it out in front of their eyes. So if you're a guitarist and you think, yeah, I might like to check that out a bit further, well, go check out craftyguitarclub.com. It's an online membership which gets you access to me live, as well as you can hang out with other like-minded people just like yourself wanting to learn guitar, and there's heaps of content that's available to check out in the online membership area. So yeah, if you want to know more, check out craftyguitarclub.com, and currently I'm offering the first month free, so get that while you can. Now, just before we finish up this video, what about if the situation for you with learning a song is that your prep time amount is really small, like really small? Well, basically the question you got to ask yourself is, what is the bare minimum that I can do in order to be able to make the song somewhat recognizable? For me, I've been asked at open mic sessions that I've run, hey, do you know how to play this song? We need someone like to back us up or play with us or filling the missing piece of the band or whatever. And there's been times where I've never known the song and I've been able to just get on stage and play. For instance, let's just say if it's drumming, right? If someone was to tell me it's just this one drum beat the whole way through, if you can play that drum beat, well, then you know how to play that song. Let's face it, like a song like Billie Jean by Michael Jackson, for instance. It's just like... there might be some crash cymbals or whatever, but there's no like crazy drum fills or stops or whatever. It's basically just like you keep playing and then hopefully just you get to the end, somebody will look at you to end. For guitar, if it's a song like A Horse with No Name by America, you can get by with just playing 2 chords. And I guess there's different levels to being able to play a song super accurately.
Levels.
When you're learning a song, in my opinion, what you want to do is you want to sort of like cover as many bases as you can so that you can get by with playing the song from start to end. Maybe with some boxes that aren't ticked, like playing the guitar solo note for note, or knowing all of the super fancy chords. There might be, easy version chords that you can get away with. But the idea is that I guess you want to have a bit of a roadmap. So if we have a quick look at the step-by-step list that we went through before, I mean, like if you have time, that's where you would do all of those things. But if you don't have time, well, then you don't. So for instance, you might not have enough time to listen through the song. You might not have enough time to analyze the intricacies of the song structure or the form. Maybe you won't be able to figure out in time what key you're in. Maybe you won't be able to fill in many of the gaps. Maybe you definitely probably won't have time for the extras. So yes, every situation is different, but you got to figure out, well, what is the most important elements that need to go into the song to make it sound enough like the song? And so for me, what I like doing is if I don't have time, then I'll do the ultimate guitar or find a chart as fast as I can, because that way it gives you a lot of the information. But if I had to pick one thing that really helps me out when you've basically got no time to prepare, it's trying to connect with the song as best as you can. And what I mean by that is Do I connect with the song because it reminds me of another song? Is it a similar tempo or is it a similar chord progression? Or maybe it's in a similar key. I just need to connect so that in the heat of the moment, I've got a way of being able to have something to be able to stand on my own 2 feet with musically. Now, one last thing I want to quickly say is that I'm aware that we're only talking about the learning stage. But really, the more time that you have, the better for learning and also for practice. Don't skimp on practice and don't skimp on the revision side of practice. Meaning if you've learnt the song, if you feel like, yep, I know how to play it now, well then don't never play it for a year because how well are you going to remember it? So always remember, keep practicing and keep revising. All right, if you made it to this part of the video, thanks for sticking around.
And thanks for stopping by.
Tell me in the comments below, what was the number one thing that you got out of it? What did you learn? What is it that you do that might be different? Let me know if I've left something out. So yeah, I hope you got something out of this video and I hope to see you inside the Crafty Guitar Club. Also, go check out another one of these crafty music tips videos here on this YouTube channel.